Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jojin Movie Awesome. I'm Joe.
This is Won-Jin.
Jojin Movie So Awesome. I apologize. We are going to talk about Ahsoka today. Disney Plus. It's 8 episodes. So we decided to do a middle point review.
Yeah.
We will be reviewing episode 1 through 4. Full spoilers ahead. Here we go.
You know, I was always confused. Was it Ahsoka or Ashoka? And now, I mean, the spelling is kind of confusing, but after watching the show, it's definitely Ahsoka.
Yeah, I got that too. I was really confused. I kept searching for Ashoka and got nothing, so I was like, am I an idiot? And then Ahsoka, it turns out.
Ahsoka.
I'm sure diehard Star Wars fans knew about that. But, hey, I gotta say, I'm gonna be honest. This show so far has returned my faith in the Star Wars universe again. That's my humble opinion. Because I loved how they try to make it such an epic, though. You know, there's a lot of like environmental storytelling that I definitely believe that whoever their cinema is got inspiration from Ridley Scott. I got a lot of Ridley Scott, like, beautiful, like, scene vibes.
Yeah.
And a lot of mysticism, too. I like that weird temple stuff. Because that prepared me for that episode 4 guy dying. Marduk, is it? Or Marduk, that weird Sith dude.
Yeah, and he just vanished into the air. He was not, like, he did not have a physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like witchcraft or something.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, I guess that could happen since in the first episode we spent our time in this weird ancient temple, and then I love this. I think this show was definitely Prometheus inspired because like the map of the teleportation was just brought from like Prometheus.
Yeah, from that alien spacecraft.
Yeah,
it kind of works as a hologram and stuff.
Yeah, and like Baylan's line of "You must first destroy to create." That's directly from that android dude.
And now that you say it, I see even more resemblance to Prometheus, because remember, what's her name? Sabine. Sabine tries to revive the droid's head using this energy, but remember in Prometheus they find this the dead alien head. Yeah. I mean the creator head, and they try to bring it back to life. Maybe.
Yeah,
and it was kind of disgusting.
Yeah, maybe.
But in this case, it was a droid, so it was okay.
I think that was a little stretching so far, though. I was just trying to say, like, overall thematic thing. Yeah, because I thought that droid thing was just adorable. Because I think it was just trying to show that Sabine is kind of a Mandalorian. And, like, first of all, me and Won-Jin, we didn't watch the animated show, the New Republic.
The New Republic. So, I mean, I realized that I have a lot of plot holes in my head. I mean, some of the things they say, I got the sense that there was something that I should have known about. Yeah. But I don't know about it. But it didn't really bother me enjoying the show.
I agree too.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, because the first episode, I got to be honest, like the first 30-minute kind of bored me. Because when I saw that it was like a 54-minute mark, I was like, oh, is this going to do Obi-Wan again? Where I don't need these like bullshit little plot lines that's not going to go anywhere with these villains that I'm never going to see again. No, but like, it turns out it was a very like slow-paced storytelling, like very traditional. And I enjoyed episode 2, 3, 4 immensely because of the first episode's build-up. Like, I was fascinated with the villains too.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I was just like, why are your like lightsabers orange? And then it turns out, I think they're like this like corrupted Jedi. They're not Sith yet. That weird ghost dude is definitely Sith because he does the helicopter.
The spinning thing.
You know, like from now on, I want to speak to every Star Wars writers. Please don't do the Sith helicopter thing ever again. Because every time someone does a helicopter, I know that he's gonna die. It's just such a like a common bad guy move. No, but the scene itself was pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love that, and I also love. Oh, I'm sorry. Won-Jin is pointing out to me that I should speak to the mic. I'm so sorry because Oppenheimer, my mic got messed up. I'm really sorry about that. I'll try to focus on this. Yeah, there we go. My apologies, dear and ZZ, thank you for leaving a comment last time. We missed it, but we really appreciate you tuning in with us. But anyway, back to Ahsoka. I really like the master-apprentice like mirror thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me go first. Like, I like how Baylan and Shin are master and apprentice, but such different characters. First of all, Ray Stevenson has that physicality. And man, his character reminds me of Stannis, or Titus Pullo from Rome.
You know what? I was constantly thinking of the Punisher because his iteration of the Punisher is my favorite.
Yeah. Because Ray Stevenson is one of these rare big guy character that can bring London Royal Theatre vibes.
Yeah,
because he adds a little bit more to the big guy.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I think he's Australian or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't mind. But I like his contrast with Shin, because his apprentice is this small lady who looks like she just got out of the dog pound and ready to kill anybody.
Or it feels like she just came straight out of Sia's music video.
Yeah, definitely.
The girl with the hair.
Yeah, I love how her eyes are demented. Like, she's always looking at you. Like,
and she's got these crazy eyes.
No, but like, I feel like she's like turning into Sith Jedi mode right now. Because I do feel like she is a little bit more unhinged than Baylan, because Baylan just comes off more of a Jedi than a Sith. Because you got to remember, like, Sith dudes are angry fucks. Like, even the Emperor, so much power, unlimited power. Yeah, remember Vader gets angry every time he fights. Bitch!
And basically, he kind of loses all, like, reasoning. It's like, you underestimate my powers, and then he just gets all his limbs cut off.
Yeah, because even in Rogue One, when he's doing that hallway scene, you get the sense that he's pretty angry that these guys are getting in his way. And even the way he does it, like, his body language is rage. But here, Baylan, like, I don't know if they did it intentionally, but even his, like laser blocking comes off as more Jedi-like, more composed.
Yeah, and the things he says while fighting Ahsoka is also very Jedi-like, because there's nothing hateful from what he says.
Yeah, I like his like lines with Elizabeth character too, though. Elizabeth is also, she fascinates me too.
No, I'm not sure, but I saw her. I recognize her from somewhere, but I think it was like a comedy movie.
No, but she was also the character, not the actor. She's in Mandalorian, remember? She's the one that duels Ahsoka, and she does it with a double-tipped spear.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah, and she already name dropped Thrawn or whatever this dude, this
was that the episode where Ahsoka first makes her appearance in the show? In the Mandalorian?
Maybe the second one, because they fight in this Asian-style villa, and she's holding the Valyrian steel spear, and she's the one that contracted Mandalorian. Okay. Yeah, so she's new to us, but Ahsoka, the show, is adding dimensions to her, because we didn't know she was a witch, and it turns out she does weird voodoo stuff, and she's some kind of zealot for Thrawn. Yeah. But I like how there's not many heavy dialogues here, unlike Obi-Wan. But like her interaction with Baylan is interesting because we get to know the character Baylan. Yeah. Because in the first episode, we can assume that, oh man, this is a bad villain. But every time he talks to her, we realize that he's not completely evil. He says, "It's so sad.
Yeah, it's such a shame. There's so few left."
And she's like, sentimental. And he's like, no
experience.
And from the very episode, the first thing we hear from him is, because Elizabeth says, "You're a man of your word," and he says, "I get paid well for it." But it turns out, episode 4, he is a man of his word. Yeah, because I don't think the Emperor or Vader are men of their word. I think they're pretty shitty about it. Actually,
yeah, the Emperor is actually kind of like
he's almost a pathological liar.
He's like a manipulating bitch.
Yeah, Vader is. I don't think Vader also keeps his promises. I think Vader is pretty dark with that.
Or I think he just rarely makes promises.
Oh yeah, he just kills them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. He doesn't even make promises.
Yeah, he just destroys you, doesn't he? But here Baylan does, there is added dimension to him because so I would say he's like a rogue Jedi or some kind of dark Jedi. Like if we have to call him something, because he's not Sith. Because that helicopter dude was Sith because his blade was red. But here I think he's not completely Sith yet, and we still don't know what he is up to. We know what the bad Thrawn guy is up to because they keep telling us that. And Mandalorian season 3 name dropped him too. They were all gonna like all those like remember the Villain League holograph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I mean, episode 4 kind of gives us a hint of what he's thinking because he said, I mean, they get power, unimaginable power.
Yeah.
So maybe what he's after is to maybe become, I don't know, like not a Sith Lord, but something similar to it. Maybe that's what he's looking for.
Hey, don't you think? Hey, this is just us theorizing, but I think it's not that Thrawn is going to give him power. I think where Thrawn is, there's some kind of secret ancient temple.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, him and Elizabeth's destination are the same, but what they're seeking there is different.
Completely different agendas.
Yeah, because I think these like temples and stuff are like a hint, because they've been hinting that, and like Baylan says this is not Jedi made, and there are more ancient people. So I think he says he's seeking power.
So far, what I really like about this series is they kind of learned all the good, elements that had a very positive feedback from their series, and the stuff that they got very harsh criticisms for. So it has all these elements of like Obi-Wan and the Mandalorian and all these things that we really liked, and they're, I think, kind of mixed well together. And I also get this very strong sense of like Indiana Jones. You know how they're going after this artifact, and there's like evil forces like plotting something, just like the Nazis in there, just like the Nazis in Indiana Jones. It kind of felt like space Indiana Jones for me. Yeah,
I think like David Filoni, the creator of the series, he's just good at very traditional storytelling. This is very traditional storytelling, like except the dynamic has changed to mother and daughter from father and son that we're used to. And I do like the relationship between Ahsoka, Rosary Dawson, and the Sabine Wren character, because it's very similar to what we're used to. I mean, if you want to be cynical about it, we can say, well, there we go again, another master and a Padawan. But I do like, I think the actors are really good at conveying this, mother and daughter relationship. I mean, and it's a very common theme throughout Star Wars, because even in Mandalorian, it's really about the Yoda, Baby Yoda, the apprentice Mandalorian, and Daddy Mandalorian. Yeah. So, I mean, this is not a new thread for Star Wars. And
I'm fascinated by how they managed to make an intriguing droid character every time.
Oh, Huyang.
Yeah, because this droid first has an Asian name for the first time. And second, I never knew that there was like a Jedi training droid. Yeah. This is like the first droid who like after what we saw, the assassin droid in The Mandalorian, this is the first droid whom doesn't panic in the middle of battle. Is very competent. It's a very competent fighter. And I was thinking to myself, why doesn't this droid also have a lightsaber? I think if you like give a lightsaber to like one of his arms, he's gonna be a lot of help to Ahsoka. It's like, why doesn't he tag along?
Maybe that's a hint.
Yeah, you give him 4. Then we saw in that training simulation that he's capable of wielding 4 lightsabers.
Yeah, and I do like. I do like the droid humors too, because because I like this line where he said, out of like centuries of Padawan, you have the least talent. That's gotta be like the most asshole thing a teacher can say to a student.
I love the fact that he's not willing to be nice at all. He's just dropping facts all the time.
No, but that's also a hint that Sabine, she's gonna do something, because it's already been hinting. But I also like, I had the same thought as you. When I saw that chop droid with 2 arms and a pincer, I was like, why doesn't every R2 model have that? Like every one of those, because remember like Anakin's like R5 or R2, the blue dude? Like, why don't you have an arm?
Yeah.
This makes your life way easier.
That's right. You can like pick stuff up. And do shit.
Why do you have to just have it here when you can have attachments here? And I like the little humors too. I was like, did you touch my stuff? And like,
did you go through my stuff?
Yeah. Like, I love droids with personality.
Yeah.
But I think we should stop there because Star Wars have always been very ambiguous about the position of droids. Are they slaves? You know, are they? Do they have free will? They drop little hints
We did get
of
that free will hint from the Rogue One, was it?
Yeah.
Something else.
Also, in the Mandalorian, there was this like labor droids like rebelling. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. But I did feel like some characters, they kind of explained it not enough though, like that Hela general and Sabine Wren's like brother or like brother-like person.
So I was thinking that maybe this is the plot hole that I have in my head because maybe these characters are better explained in previous series, like what was it, the New Republic?
Yeah, or they expect us to have watched it because I did feel like that Edgar dude, I was like, why should I care? But I did like them trying to make up with that with Ahsoka and Sabine, I guess, because I think the two actors did a great job of conveying people who are not in speaking terms but actually care about each other.
Yeah,
and that was good. But another thing was, I knew Anakin was coming too. They kept dropping Anakin, and then it kind of felt like, in Mandalorian 2, they dropped Luke. Luke came out as a fan service, and I did feel like, well, I'm happy to see you, but...
And this happened at the end of episode 4. Oh, by the way, we forgot to say spoiler alert.
No, we did. No, we did.
In the title. Did we say major spoilers coming?
Yeah, we did, for spoilers for episode 1 to 4.
And this is the first time, I think, well, it's still ambiguous, but I'm guessing that after falling off that cliff, Ahsoka is in the world of Force. Like how Jedis don't die. Yeah. We see from the old trilogy, like Anakin and Yoda, they all disappeared into the Force, and they're still there. You can hear them speak.
Yeah.
Oh, that also first happens with Obi-Wan with Ben in episode 4, and now I think we're kind of getting the view of a Jedi within the Force, and I guess that's why we saw Anakin. So this is something new for me. I mean, for a lot of the audience, because we never saw this like somewhat. What can I say?
I don't know though. Like, here's my thing though. The first trilogy, it was fine when they showed the Force ghosts and stuff, and some voices. But I think the sequel trilogy, when Yoda came back and threw lightning at the Jedi books, and I think they're. I don't know if you watch the animation if it's explained better, but for me, like, sometimes like it's better to keep a little bit of mystery. So I hope like episode 5's explanation of it is really well done. I don't have a problem with it. It's just like I'm a little bit worried that the spirit form returning has been happening too much. And we're really not sure what their influence is in the real world too, though. And especially after like watching the last of the sequel trilogy where Ray and Emperor Palpatine does the Dragon Ball, and they said, "What was the fucking line? We are all the Sith, and we are all the Jedi."
I erased that from my head. I'm having trouble like recalling what happened in that.
I was just like, huh? Because think about it, in Dragon Ball it makes sense because they've been preparing us for like 30 books before where these people can throw energy balls. So I don't get I don't get angry when Goku turns Super Saiyan 3 and has a real big energy ball battle with Cell or Boo or whatever. But when that happened, I was like, so what the fuck is going on? So I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Because the great thing about like the space opera is, some superpower is fine, but even superheroes have weaknesses, and I just don't want this to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I did like Ahsoka and Baylan's duel too, because I think they did the choreography really well. Because Ahsoka has this ninja style that's using her agility.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, in contrast to Baylan he's doing he's holding it like a heavy like great sword.
You know, like those like Claymore.
Yeah,
Europeans.
Yeah.
So when you look closely, the hilt of their lightsabers are designed completely differently.
Yeah.
So when you look at Baylan's lightsaber, like you say, it's very medieval kind of style, and it's what we see from like the European knights, like what they would do. When you look carefully at Ahsoka, I mean, her name is Ahsoka Tano, which sounds very Japanese.
Yeah.
And her hilt is curved,
Yeah.
like a katana.
Yeah.
So the hilt itself is curved, and the way she wields the swords are like the styles that are very Asian.
Yeah.
So I really like the contrast in that duel.
And I also like Shin's fighting style too, because I like her little lines too. Like, there's definitely like a lot of body language acting going on here, especially from the villains. And I like her. I liked it when she's going somewhere and she's facing. I liked it when the pupils automatically fight each other. You're that bitch that stabbed me. I'm gonna shoot you in the face, and then they go off. I did like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of looked like her body language was like that of a teenage bully, though.
You think so?
Yeah, going somewhere and like jumping down this hill and.
No, but she's one of those common like villain we see from Japanese anime too, like the anxious pupil, and I do think she's gonna want some power too, because she keeps mentioning that, like, she doesn't have many lines, but her lines are very very like telling of who she is. She asked the witch, and are you a witch? What is this? And she like her interaction with Baylan is interesting. And I hope they explain their story too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not counting on it, but what I would really love to see is to give more dimensions to these villains. I mean, we already mentioned Baylan, but also the pupil. Like you said, her dialogues kind of reveal what kind of person she is, but I wish we would get to learn more. Yeah,
I think
I'm not counting on it though.
I think Obi-Wan taught them a lesson, because once I got to knew that woman who wanted to kill Vader, I didn't give a fuck about any of these Inquisitors. Like,
the funny thing is, I already also forgot a lot about Obi-Wan. What happened in there? Was there a lady who wanted to kill Vader?
Yeah, because she joined.
Like one of the villains originally.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That happened. Okay, now I remember. And that show was crap.
And there are these dudes called 4 or number 7. They appear in like a couple episodes and they disappear.
Oh, one was Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he's from Fast and the Furious. But I do Obi-Wan. But Obi-Wan. I think we explained this. It should have been in a movie, because I do remember a scene with him and Obi-Wan dueling though.
And with the mask,
mask breaking in half,
and that was good. And the voice was distorted, like both Anakin and Vader.
And Obi-Wan says, "I'm sorry, Anakin," and he's like, "Anakin is not here. I'm what remains. You did not kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. I'll destroy you." And Obi-Wan goes, "Darth, then my friend is truly gone. Darth," and then No, but here I do think we're gonna get another fight between Baylan and Ahsoka though, because I hope there's a season 2, because this Thrawn dude better like blow my mind with his villainy, because Lars Mikkelsen is cast as that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
the guy we saw from Witcher.
Yeah, because there's a trailer of Thrawn that he appears for like 3 seconds.
Then I count on it, because he's been very good at playing a villain.
Yeah, because I watched, like, I did research after watching this show. It turns out there was this Star Wars novel published in the 90s called Heir to the Empire or something. And it's after the Emperor dies. It centers around this Thrawn villain. So to Star Wars fan, he's like a known villain.
I see.
But he's like a Lex Luthor type.
I just wish he's not a villain like we saw from the sequel trilogy. What's his name? Snoke or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy was crap.
No, here like he's like Lex Luthor type, because he doesn't have any superpowers.
Oh really?
Yeah. So that's what makes him fascinating, I think.
Okay.
So like he's this like a chess player type, like strategist type. So that'll be interesting, because it contrasts from the Emperor, because Emperor has superpower. Like all the Senate members, when they saw him flying and throwing Senate seats, they're like, "We'll be loyal to you forever, sir." My apologies, sir. Was that, by the way, was that lightning that came out of your little finger? Wow, amazing, sir. No, but like think about it though. When Vader throat breaks you, every soldier is like loyal to the end, sir. No, but like
I mean, we saw that from what's it called? Game of Thrones. You know, after the Empress burns someone alive with the dragon flame, you're gonna be loyal.
Yeah. So like here, it goes to show, I guess, like the actor has a lot to do, because you have to convey a very evil person.
Yeah.
You know, like, because even Gideon in Mandalorian, he doesn't have any superpower. He's like I think you mentioned it, Nazi style evil, like how we see it. Like he's a high-ranking bureaucrat doing evil stuff. So, but I take this back. I did say this returned my faith in Star Wars, but we did enjoy Andor. Now that I think about it.
Oh, that's right. Andor was a great series. And Andor is an exception. Andor, I could get more of. But Obi-Wan, that was a huge disappointment, also because of the name. Yeah. Because it's such a big name in the Star Wars series.
Yeah, but compared to Obi-Wan, I think this one is written really well.
Yeah.
Like, I even liked the hyperdrive shit they did, like the mini episode.
And I also love all this, like, usage of, like, key computer graphics. In, you know, like the space dogfights and everything. I mean, just like, I think they learned a lot from Andor, because Andor had just enough dose of that starfight to keep us to keep us on the edge of the seats, and they did that also really well in the past 4 episodes of Ahsoka.
I think I'm glad we did this podcast in mid episode 4, because, you know, I want to really praise this series, because quality has been really movie-like, and I feel like episode 4 is like part 1 of part 1 and 2, because now we're gonna go to that weird universe, right?
Yeah.
But I hope they do some weird shit. I would love to see, because how did you like the space whales and stuff?
That reminded me a lot of StarCraft. You know, like the Xel'Naga.
Yeah.
They have those like
tendrils,
tentacles or something. Yeah, that
Cthulhu
kind of reminded me of
hybrid.
them. And supposedly they're like intelligent beings.
But I do like the Ridley Scott style visual story, because I love the forest. Because and the episode structure is really smart, because they drop us a hint of what they are, and then we actually go there.
Yeah.
And so I did like the red leaf forest, and I did love the ancient temple. And, you know, I hope they continue this, like, epic visual style. Because I think they were really going for epic style, like a grand scale thing. Because even the ending credit is about the universe, right?
Yeah.
Traveling. So I hope they deliver in, like, the 7th and 8th episode. Because I do want to see, you know, because the great thing about the first Star Wars trilogy, especially the first one, was that it did feel like a space opera in that, like, moving to a different environment is part of the storytelling in Star Wars series.
Yeah, because remember in the episode 4, the first Star Wars movie, we see the sandy dune planet, Tatooine. Exactly. And then episode 5, what was it? Empire Strikes Back. It starts on an icy planet, and then this like ghost, like the spirit of Obi-Wan shows up. It's like, go to the planet Dagobah, and then he goes there. It's like a tropical island, and it has all these different settings, and along comes all these different creatures. Yeah.
And this one, Ahsoka definitely feels more like a movie than Mandalorian, because Mandalorian had a very like a Witcher style structure.
Each episode had like a quest, and he completes it.
Yeah, but here it's just the main plot, and I like that. Actually, it gave me a lot of focus, because Obi-Wan's felt like they were making conflict for conflict's sake by going to this weird ass place, and then not giving a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about number 4, number 7. We just want Obi-Wan and you fighting, and that was awesome. Oh, but another weakness of Obi-Wan was they kept trying to mess with the old characters and confuse our plot lines. Yeah, like Princess Leia and you met. That stuff was kind of
unnecessary.
But I feel like this one just enough, because it's very. I feel like it's very plausible that Baylan knew Anakin. You know what I mean? So, and they just leave it at that. I don't want to know more stuff that you're gonna have confused, and have to make up later, you know. And I think Mandalorian was strongest in the first 2 seasons because it didn't refer to the old series too much.
Good point.
Yeah, so in Ahsoka, I hope they invest. I know there are comic book versions of these characters, such as Sabine and the General and Ahsoka, but I hope we get kind of like a new plot line going here. Because remember, like, that Sabine character is what we talked about during Mandalorian. I was like, I wish there was a Mandalorian Jedi hybrid.
So this is what we get, but so far it's not exactly a competent Jedi, but I was thinking the same thing. Oh my god, like the moment I saw that helmet, I mean, I didn't see like the cartoon series or anything, so I had no idea about who the Sabine character was. But I mean, she's a Mandalorian, and then she's a Padawan?
No, so Mando should marry her and then raise Yoda together. Yeah. Yeah, because I think the actor, she's like half Asian.
I think she is.
I don't think she's fully Asian,
I think she's like half Asian and half Italian, but judging from her name.
Italian?
Her last name, she had a very Italian last name.
Really?
And she's actually Australian.
Okay, I just thought she was like half Asian, half white, because she has the white body bone structure but the Asian upper face, and that was a great casting. Because yeah, but this show did confuse me about like space biology though. Like, why does the general's kid look like a human baby?
That's true.
Was the dad a human baby, and what's that about?
You know, ever since I saw the prequel trilogy back in like early 2000s, I always wondered, you know, like Hera and also Ahsoka, what is that thing on their head? Is that like part of their body, or is that like a decoration? Or
I think that's part of their body, but my question is, like, why doesn't your kid have a... Yeah. So let me get this straight. Your dad was, I think, a human, but your genetic trait didn't go to your child.
And you know, whoever has that hair, this thing, I don't think I've ever seen like a male version of that.
Okay.
Is there like a male version of like whatever they are?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's always, I've always been curious.
No, but like they never answered that question, but now they just explicitly tell that Jason, this kid who looks human with green hair is fine, okay. And your mother has tentacles. I was like, is your dad human? And then, like, what's going on there? You know, I don't know. Like, if any of our subscribers know, please share with us, because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not important. It's just like a little curiosity thing is all. Like it just goes to show that they can mate, okay. But the kid, I feel like that was also in like some kind of original series, because they kind of threw it out at us like, she's, you know, she has a son, and son is kind of human looking. I guess the fans know. If any of you know, please leave a reply. But
yeah, you know, I mean, without having any knowledge of the context and the background, I'm guessing that the father is, what's his name, Ezra, who's supposedly a Jedi.
You think so?
Yeah, so maybe the son has also like the power of the Force or something. I don't know, because we know that Sabine considers Ezra as her like brother. Yeah. So maybe Hera is like his former lover.
Yeah, no, but I thought remember like the senator from Shawshank Redemption was giving a speech, and they had this portrait behind. I thought that portrait was directly from the comic series.
I was thinking the same thing. He was in a lot of different movies, but the only thing that came to my mind is, oh my god, that's the prison guard from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, because that was such a memorable line. He was in like Punisher too. No, but that was his like very memorable like role. But anyway, Shawshank Redemption prisoner guard. He does the speech, and behind him like there's this like mural.
Yeah,
and I thought the mural was like directly from the comics, because it was drawn in a comic style. So I thought that was like an Easter egg for fans.
Yeah,
because we see Sabine there, and we see Hera there, and then I thought, oh, so that's the Edgar dude.
Ezra.
Ezra dude.
Ezra.
Yeah. But anyway, so far, hey, I gotta say, I am having much more fun than I expected.
Yeah.
Even the Elizabeth character is fascinating to me, because now we know more about her. I think we're gonna see her fight again with Ahsoka.
Yeah. And by the way, one thing I don't really like about what's going on in these series, like the new ones, is that the power of the lightsaber is being kind of nerfed.
You think so?
Yeah, because remember in the early Star Wars, like using the Force and wielding a lightsaber basically made you invincible. That meant a lot. But now these like you know those like Royal Guard kind of guys with the spear and everything, they can block the lightsaber's attack. I'm like, what the fuck? This happened from what was it? The sequels, I think.
The sequel trilogy.
Yeah, the sequel trilogy. Like, who the fuck are these guys? I mean, if you're a Jedi stopping another lightsaber, or if you're a Sith stopping another lightsaber, that brings a lot of drama. But these like nobodies, like fighting against the Jedi and holding it on, and it's just kind of, just kind of gets tiring.
You think so?
Yeah.
I do. No, but now that you mentioned that, I do wish there were more explanation of like the art of Jedi sword fighting, because I guess they were like a special corps, so they do get those training. But I have a very different dream than you though. Like when I saw the sequel trilogy, and the Emperor did Dragon Ball shit and killed a starship with thunder. I'm just telling you the truth. No, but I was just like,
that was so. I mean, it just reminds me how ridiculous that was.
But like here's the thing, Won-Jin. All I wanted to see was like, some guy using the Force to manipulate the weapon in such a way to do some creative kills. That's all I want. Not always the helicopter, but like I think we had this conversation in private. I wish there were like, if you're gonna have Jedi sword, why not a Jedi like a hammer or
like
axe,
a spear? Or
yeah, exactly.
Kind of
So where especially I think the Sith are more inclined to that because they're more chaotic and angry than like the formal training of Jedi. So like I was hoping like there was this big Sith, okay, big dude with Force power that just can use the Force to crush your head, and then use like a Force like a lightsaber axe, and then throw it in such a way that is really imposing. But you know what would be awesome if like Ahsoka uses a double sword to block that heavy ass light energy sword, and because in the original trilogy the Jedi were awesome because Luke was the skinny kid who was going against his father, who's built like a football player thanks to his metal legs, and Darth Vader like threw his sword around like a claymore too. Now that I think about it, his fighting style was very different from Luke, where Luke was more knightly and he was more of a berserker style like fighting, and then you got this Emperor throwing lightnings at you. So like there's always this angle of the Jedi being more nimble, using their brain. Because think about it, even the prequel trilogy, Darth Maul does the double shiny.
I mean, that's a great point. Because remember when the first the prequel came out, and in the end with the songs like and Darth Maul like unveils himself and he turns on the lightsaber and another blade shows up.
That was shocking.
That was so shocking. It basically like everybody shit their pants in the theaters. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
He has a lightsaber with dual blades?
Yeah.
That thing was such a shock, but now it's losing a lot of that magic.
No, but like, because I feel like if they're going to add more Sith-style villains, because I think some of them are Sith, some of them are not. I didn't watch the comics, so I'm a little bit confused about what they are, because in the original trilogy, at least how it's told to us, is that Sith are master-apprentice, and that's it. But if they're going to do that, why not have like a Sith with like brass knuckles that's made out of laser?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Why can't they come up with that?
No, like somebody with like brass knuckle and it does a little wing thing. Not Wolverine like, but like a pulverizing here.
Yeah.
And then he smashes
like just like in Tekken, like Kazuya Mishima, they have that electricity coming out of their knuckles.
Like face in. And now that you mention it, they really fucking missed. I'm gonna bash on sequel trilogy again. It's like if they were gonna make Rey Palpatine's like granddaughter, they should have. I think they missed a huge chance of explaining their genetics and like Sith power more in general.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because like, one of the fascinating thing about the Emperor in the prequel trilogy is when he goes to the theater with Anakin. And he says, not from a Jedi. It's kind of implied that, like for me at least, how I implied it was Jedi only follows a strict set of knowledge. But I felt like Sith, since they are power-seeking by definition, they know more occult shit. Like unallowed sciences.
Black magic kind of thing.
Yeah, instead instead of making a Snoke copy that doesn't even look like you fucking moron, just make your own copy. Every dictator's dream, so you can get
and
assassinated.
avoid assassination. That's right.
Like
you're double.
Like why does it need to be this? And then, anyway, fuck you. Anyway, anyway, back to Ahsoka. Now that we're gonna go to, I do like the Star Trek vibe too. Though we're going to go to this world that we don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and
that's what Star
I
Trek
like
does
that
all the
fascination.
time.
Though I think that was what they were hinting at from the end credit. So I think we're gonna, because this is a galaxy that's unknown to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think you mentioned Cthulhu and Olgar. I think we are going to see some kind of weird planets and weird lives, and like the Thrawn fleet of how they're affected by this galaxy. I think Thrawn is going to be this villain with tremendous knowledge, though. Like he doesn't have any superpower, but you know he knows like the secrets of the universe, so to speak. Like, and he's going to talk about how his banishment have nurtured, and then he's going to talk some Sith religion shit.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of parallel with him and Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah,
and. Again, I mentioned Indiana Jones, and also I see a lot of resemblance to like the Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, do we say?
Hey, one small like little like bat I want to say though. I wish they gave Ahsoka the namesake character more like character though. Now that I think about it, like I wish we get to know more about her too.
Yeah, just like
as a person,
just like Boba Fett.
Yeah, like I
Boba
want.
Fett was a good,
it doesn't need to be like something fancy. There could be a moment with Sabine where maybe the comic book like people who saw it knows it, but she tells you about like an old event and how it affected him. Because she does come off as like a wizened warrior here, though, and because that was the impression I got from Mandalore. Because she's the one that finds out Baby Yoda's like talent and stuff.
Yeah.
So she does seem like a master Jedi. So that's what I've been looking forward to. But anyway, I think we talked longer than we expected. Hey, me and Won-Jin, we are Star Wars fan, but we are just a little. I think I can speak for both of us. We were a little bit disappointed with the up and down quality of recent shows, but Ahsoka for me so far has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's do a number grade till episode 4.
Until episode 4, I would give this an 8.5. 8.5.
I give it a 9 because maybe my opinion will change, but like I said before, the first half of it bored the fuck out of me. When Ren did the motorcycle thing, I was like, oh, this rebel trope again. But
I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
Yeah.
But I forgave them because as the show went on, I think they did add a lot of dimensions to the universe. Like Mandalorian, you know what I like about the Mandalorian? They explain this universe about these planets, about these worlds. So
which usually did not have enough time to get focused.
Yeah, they never show us a map,
movies.
But it feels like there's a lived-in place here. And this does a good job too with the docking station.
Yeah,
and I think you were right. They added this at Andor. We get working level workers and how they think. And I love that asshole Italian dude. He's saying, my loyalty is to my investors.
Yeah.
No fucking shit, idiot. Like to like these two like very kind anime characters. So like I do like the world building here and the epic scope of it. And I'm gonna be honest, I am finding the villains more fascinating than Ahsoka though, and Sabine Wren.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I also really like the music. If you listen to the music carefully, we get the classic Star Wars, like this romantic theme.
Definitely.
Yeah, that music's really good. And also, I like some of the one-liners, which could be really cheesy, but it makes me laugh and get excited at the same time. You know, I mean, the best line for me in this entire series so far, and in the past 4 episodes, was "Prepare the turbo lasers."
Oh really? Oh yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is Star Wars, and they have lasers, but they use the word turbo in it. Yeah. Turbo lasers, really?
No, but I like they use the movie trope of like breaking our expectations though, because when Shin says congratulations, Elizabeth, you almost got him, then I'll do. Like there's this, it's already showing her character to us though. She's almost like Anakin.
Petty and vindictive.
Yes, no, but that's Anakin's trait of like, I wouldn't exactly say petty and vindictive. I would say very power hungry. Because she's the one that has to get it right and be right. Because we get that like mini drops of it. And it plays with our expectation. Because when Sabine starts choking in the 4th episode, we're like, is it Baylan doing that? No, but it turns out it's
vindictive.
Shit. Yeah. And it turns out, oh shit, Baylan is not Vader. Because I thought Baylan not being Vader was conveyed really well. Because remember, one of the problems we had at Obi-Wan was Vader being such a nice guy. When that girl failed and then failed me again, I thought he was just gonna like neck break him. Next number, please. Because let me tell you, Vader don't give a fuck. Vader don't give a fuck what your rank is.
And then snapping her neck would just be like setting an example for the others.
Okay, number 8 next. Don't wait for the Emperor. He's more ruthless than I am. And everybody's shitting their pants. Double the efforts, motherfucker. No, but here we do get like Baylan being this more like a Stannis vibe where he has his own logic.
Yeah.
And he will do anything for that. So it's kind of different from the conventional Sith we're used to.
It's such a shame that Ray Stevenson is passed
away.
away.
Yeah, we definitely because I feel like he is so good at playing this sort of role. This very masculine, because even in Rome, Titus Polo is almost butcher-like when we first introduced him, but he has a lot of dimensions that we didn't know about as the series go on. He's very sensitive. He's also very intelligent, intuitive sometimes. And here we get this, I mean, because our first impression of him is, his introduction is kind of like the way we're introduced to like Sith.
Yeah.
But as the show goes on, he drops lines that are really, really un-Sith-like. And because even in episode 3 or 4, was it like Elizabeth says fear, and
he says experience.
Oh yeah. So he has this like Stannis like one-liners that is really, really smart. Yeah.
I hope there would be some humor to the lines, just like we saw in Stannis. What was it? Him correcting the grammar. It's like fewer. It's like, what was that? It's like nothing. Yeah. Anyway, so we did talk a lot more than usual. We spoke for 46 minutes, but the very fact that we spoke for so long kind of proves that this show has a lot to talk about.
Not just that, but like let's like just beyond this, people know Star Wars and love it. Like, who doesn't know about Vader and stuff? I think it's perfect to stop talking here, because I would like to judge the show based on all episodes. Though. So far, it has been really exciting. I can't wait for episode 5 to drop. Me and Won-Jin will come back to Ahsoka once the series is finished. We're also watching Moving, which has episode 15, but it'll conclude in 2 weeks, because from what I saw in the news, there will be episode 2 dropping next week, and 3 of them will drop in the last week. So in 2 weeks, we will also talk about Moving as a whole series too. Hey. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Your likes and comments help a lot. Please come back later. Thank you so much. This has been Jojo Movie So Awesome. I was Joe.
I was Won-Jin.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Endless power. Bye, Zed. Thank you. Hey, Zed. Oh, bye. Thank you. We love you, man. We love you. Thank you.